Alright, so this is another match. This one's going to be starring the People's Champ here. Actually, this is Rehai. Sorry, this is Rehai here in the blue Infernal. And the People's Champ here in the red Vanguard. And this is going to be another replay submitted, actually by Dutchy. The People's Champ is also Dutchy. And if you haven't had a chance yet, go check out Dutchy's stream. He streams semi-regularly. And he plays all races, or all factions, and is pretty good, with all of them, Infernal being his strongest. I would say maybe... Actually, I'm not sure what is his second strongest now. But he certainly likes playing a very interesting style with his Vanguard. And maybe I won't do too much to foreshadow that, because I'm not sure what style he is going to play this game. He has opened with the barracks right now. And Rehai, his opponent, has opened with a very interesting build too. It looks like I don't see any production here. There is a farm first, it looks like, based on how it's already finished, followed by a shrine. And now Dutchy's dog is in here, is on top of this imp, but there are actually two Fellhogs here. That early farm allowing for those Fellhogs to spawn and be a little bit of a defense. The dog, of course, managing to get in here. We see the Hexen returning back. She's got a little damage on her. She must have been tussling with some units while she was scouting. And a nice little sim city that Rehai has put up here with a conclave and a vault to help defend his natural there. And Dutchy's dog is retreated. Meanwhile, a little creeping force heading out. Yeah, it's not clear what tech choice he's going to go now, but he does have two Lancers to start. So maybe this will be a Lancer opening, and we see another Lancer coming out. So this looks like a Lancer opening out of Dutchy. And he's doing the Lancer creeping, where you're trying to hit as many as you can at one time. And with two Lancers, I think now is the meta, or a Lancer and a Scout. His Scout's out on the map. Oh, there, I got that bug. His Scout's out on the map, just, I guess, maybe trying to see the timing for Rehai to take this camp and or take this third base, assuming that's the one. But Rehai here has made a brute. Okay, and there we go. Some gaunts coming out as well. So Rehai's build definitely slower than a standard Infernal opening. Most Infernal openings are with a conclave or a vault, or both, or a double vault or a double conclave, something like that. Into a shrine expand, but maybe not even necessarily into an early shrine. Maybe just into some creeping, and then off that creeping come build your next base. Now, so this is a little bit slower, but pretty standard to go for the speed camp next. And with the cross spawn, that means both players have access to a speed camp without being necessarily harassed, and both players are able to get a health camp as well. Although it looks like Dutchy's planning to be a little aggressive here, and what's that, a fifth Lancer, trying to do a little bit of a Lancer aggression with that promote. This is a pretty common strategy in the meta right now. But it looks like the Fellhogs are going to chase them away to start. And there's some pretty good SimCity here, so I'm not sure. Is Dutchy just not going to push in? Waiting for another promote, maybe going to try again, lure Rehai's army out. But so far not committing to the aggression, and I think that's because the choke there is just going to be hard to get into. I might still try and get on top there and do some damage to the farm, or do some damage to the vault. But I think these Lancers are heading home. Or maybe they're heading to the health camp. And the dogs out there, maybe going to get sniped, but no, going to get a run away. And this force is going to head over. I think this camp is going to be cleared before they get there. At least mostly cleared. And now, can those Lancers run away, or do they want to engage? They're going to engage. They've got kinetic redirect already on. with that redirect, they can be pretty speedy, and they're right on top. They're trying to get on top of those gaunts. Ooh, with a little bit of a, we'll call it a soft surround, capturing the Hexen and a Brute. Although the Fiend's getting away. And the rest of these units trying to run back. A Mag actually out, and that Mag is, yeah, that's pretty good defense against these Lancers. I think the Lancers want to run home now. Well, they are just running to this healing camp, which they did not capture. And the Fiend's getting in there to try and deny the capture of the camp. Being annoying, getting in there, buying time. And now a nice Nightfall infestation. That was a really nice hit. Catching all of them, and a Stomp coming down, trying to get some splash damage on those Lancers. But the Lancers managing to run away, except this one, I don't know if he's just trying to block or whatnot, but he got caught on the pathing. And they're actually... I love that, hoping they could just run in there, maybe at the Lance with the with the army out of position there, they might just be able to run through the choke. But no, there was a Weaver there and another Brute. Notice, a Weaver will not block the choke. The Weaver's walk over ability means you also have a walk under ability. You can walk under the Weaver if you want. Of course, Weavers are pretty dangerous to walk under. They got that lash, they can still stun you. But these 5 Lancers, you know, they're beefy, tanky boys, and they made it home, all of them alive. And it looks like Dutchy's going to be adding some exos to that, so staying with bio this game. And again, he does have an interesting sort of mech build that I've seen out of him, and I thought that might be the direction he goes. This is interesting, leaving his scrapyard unfinished. And this one, I'm not sure what went on there. Maybe there was a little harass I missed or something. But now he's out on the map trying to get some of that income, creep income, and Rehai also out on the map. I think this build is unique out of Rehai, but it is pretty strong. He's got a single mag, which was great to chase off those Lancers, but not overcommitting to the mag and instead moving into Weaver to follow up. And I think a single mag is actually quite good. It can be... It basically is there just to threaten its Stomp, because, you know, most good players are going to try and cut away from that. But that's going to force them to move away, maybe give you time to lash some units in and kill them. And help you zone a little bit. It's more of a zoning tool than a damage dealing tool in your army in this sense, unless you're, you know, trying to mass them up or something like that. And the Weavers again are really good right now, but it looks like we're actually adding also Hexen. Yeah, a whole bunch more Hexen moving in here as well. So Hexen being added. Let's maybe go back and take a quick check there. We have Hexen Master Training on the way before Plague Axes. Okay, so this is a Hexen play. Ooh, and we see that Adept Training already paying off. These Hexen are going to spam a bunch of mines over here defensively. That's a little bit of over spam. The new mines have a range, and any ones within a range of each other like this will all be fired off at the same time. So you don't actually get a benefit from that. You kind of want to evenly space them apart. Now, if you can get more than one mine detonating on units, it does extra damage. It can be super annoying for those attacking armies as you're coming, because you're starting out infested, you're starting out with vision, or your opponent having vision, you're starting out with that initial sort of blast of splash damage, and looks like Rehai is just going to be planting mines everywhere. Only drawback to that, of course, draining the energy of the Hexens, which means less miasmas out of them, less skulls out of them later on. But the mines do last 5 minutes. I don't think I can I click one? I can click one, but it doesn't have its little countdown on it. It'll last for 5 minutes before it will disappear, which is a pretty long time in a Stormgate game. You know, we're at the 10-minute mark. A lot of games end by about the 15-minute mark, meaning these mines are going to be pretty useful. And we actually see the use of miasma on these creeps, which is actually pretty useful for a big camp like this, leaving those fiends behind. But it's because those units are big and beefy and a little tanky, and miasma is best against big tanky units. And of course, creep are not smart enough to know to run out of the miasma, so it's extra satisfying. I think he could use that again on the siege camp, and it might be very useful. Now, Dutchy's gone ahead and built a pretty good bioforce, adding some med techs in there. And here we're seeing that new drone ability, the new drone graphic, I should say. It used to be the cool little dog with the satellite dish, which who didn't love that? But this is actually a drone. Kind of looks like a drone. So that's cool, part of the new graphics update. And we also have some of these sentinels being added. Sentinels with a couple cool abilities. A shield ability, I believe, and a stasis ability. And it looks like Rehai's going for the Weavers to smash down that guy, which is also another great way to kill. Adding some venom traps there. And kind of pushing the tank up. I don't think the tank can move that fast, but awkwardly pushing it up. There's reinforcing Lancers out on the map. There's a drone here. But this army is pushing forward, and there are actually mines in behind here. That's very interesting. Luring the army in, and the army gets hit with a big blast from the mine. Lots of infests on those. Miasma's going down, and Dutchy's going to have to pull back, and these reinforcing Exos unfortunately caught in the middle of everything. There are also two Harbingers here. Harbingers, of course, bringing the creep with them. Upgraded might have the stomp. It didn't look like it there, although it's not clear. And it looks like Dutchy's in a weird place here where he's going to have to tack into his own ramp where the army of Rehai is stood up and putting down more mines behind them. It's a really interesting build with the miasma in the back there, but so many low exos and bio units here. The stasis is going down on... I'm not even sure what they're on, because it looks like those units are still attacking. That might have been bugged out, to be honest. I'm not sure what those stasises were on. But nonetheless, a couple of miasmas going down there. It's just the icing on the cake as these units have been cleaned up. And, well, this army's right up in here. And I think, yeah, that's a GG well played out of Dutchy. And that's game number 2.